Hey guys, this is Roan, back with an update. This is update number 4 of my Java 3D game engine series. I'm creating a 3D game engine. I've called it the Moonshield engine from scratch using Java and Java's OpenGL game library, LWJGL. This time, since last time, I've been moving on into resource management in the mesh and texture classes. I've created 2 garbage collection classes to manage the GPU resources of both. Basically, I have these 2 garbage collecting classes, mesh resource, texture resource, and they'll be handling, all the resources created by their parent, mesh and texture classes. Create objects of these mesh resources called resources, and then the mesh and texture classes are managing those in the constructor. Basically do reference counting until all the loaded models or loaded textures are not in use anymore, and they'll be handled through the finalize function. So, also had some changes to the texture class, load texture, added some bitwise alpha handling, and this is just using byte buffer instead of slick-util. So I've got rid of that, and manually using a byte buffer to load in textures. So yeah, buffered image, byte buffer. And these are all using Java's standard library to get that done. I've also you got some new ways to manage stuff like the filtering and tiling effects, and some mip mapping. Just gonna start doing some of that to handle transparency later on. Yeah, so some additional stuff there. One major thing is I'm using hash maps now to manage the files that are loaded in. So a mesh resource is loaded. It's added. It's given a string name and the mesh resource. The string is the name is associated with. Then these of course, like I said, the garbage collection is handled here mostly. All right, but anyway, I'd like to show you more of that. Basically, VBOs, IBOs and the buffers are handled by these resource management subclasses. That way, we add new things that got validated to use without being destroyed. So, blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's it's a basic scene like always. And see, I moved the lighting over here. Show some better lighting angles on these figures. I've given a sand texture for the figures as textures. Just organize things a little better. It's got this green spotlight, and the red point light, reflecting off the figures. And I'm really liking how the engine is handling lighting. It's very realistic. It's getting there. I'm sure it's not totally realistic, but you can see the shadows are believable, and I'm really liking some of this really minor details that are still showing. It's able to show, like create shadows over the knuckles, and so at least models will be able to look look quite realistic, and the environment looks realistic. So yeah, this is kind of a test to make sure the resource manager works correctly, because I'm loading in a new file. I'm loading in the same OBJ file as up here. So, this mesh should be handled correctly. It shouldn't load in two new meshes or something. They should be, the garbage collector should get rid of them without any errors, so we'll know this system is working. So, save that. And should see a third figure now. And of course he's right there in front of us. And I gave him the ice texture, just to see that it works. You can get textures for both of them, and the texture, resources are handled right. So I got two meshes using the ice texture, and then two meshes using the sand texture. So all in all, these new garbage collecting classes should do their job, and when we close. So just a little more demoing for y'all. It's pretty neat, I think. Yeah. So, and no errors. Great. So that's all I wanted to show this week.